this engagement because Hunar Charcha as an initiative is all about live discussions with personalities who are established in the field of Hunar. Mr. RAJDEEP Sardesai, sir, of course, needs no introduction. Padma Shri RAJDEEP Sardesai. We're going to be talking about him, his journey in the past 3 decades and 32 years of incredible journalism that he's done.
Thank you very much, Dhiraj Singh. I became a journalist in October of 1988, November of 1988. And it seems like not just one generation, but several generations away. Because the dramatic changes that have taken place in the last 31 years. I came from that generation which sort of grew up on print and basic information. We had one Doordarshan show at 9 o'clock, you watch the news, the poor anchor had to just read from one paper after the other. There would be the occasional fly that she had to swat. But they were all very attractive. Meenu Sanyal and Dhiraj Singh with his booming voice. They were all very, very attractive persona. So I came from that stream, and then in the mid-80s, in about 85, 86, when I was in college, I did a summer term with a Behram contractor, who people in Mumbai would know. He was called Busy, he was known as Busy Bee. He was editing this newspaper, so I joined that as an intern. And I just loved the idea of Behram over his typewriter punching out a copy. So I come from the typewriter generation. I still remember in 89 in Times of India when the first computers came, there was resistance. A lot of the older people felt that they were going to be out of a job. And some of us who were contract employees by then didn't join the strike, and we were dubbed traitors. And then in 94 when I first joined television, and I joined television frankly because when I just moved to Delhi, and the Telegraph was going to set up a newspaper here and they wanted me to be part of the main editorial team. I've done 6 years in Bombay and they were fantastic years of print in Bombay because we had the riots and the blasts, and I know people will say, how do you associate fantastic with riots and blasts? But it was great because here were young journalists, we had never heard of RDX, we had never heard of terror attacks, and all of that time, I remember when I took my children last year to see this film Sanju on Sanjay Dutt. And my daughter asked me, she is now 23, she asked me, did all this really happen? Because one of the stories that I had the privilege of breaking was Sanjay Dutt. The fact that Sanjay Dutt was going to be arrested the next morning. And I remember Sunil Dutt ringing me up and saying, why do you want to carry the story? I said, sir, if I don't carry it, someone else will. In 94 when we started, we had a half-an-hour program on Wellness Week, once a week. And we used to do one story for it every 2 weeks. World changed once this competition, competition should raise standards. In India, competition in TV has lowered standards. It's one of those strange things that's happened. We have 397 24/7 channels. Each one is trying to outcompete the other, outshout the other, outbreak news, breaking news the other. And therefore, that world of, yaar, ek story karni hai, baki time lunch kha lo, aaram se. And I think that's the biggest change that has taken place. That gentle world has been replaced by this crazy, noisy world, where news has become noise, and credibility has been replaced with chaos, and sense with sensation.
I also want to talk about the book because it's a phenomenal book. I've read it and I really recommend it to everyone here. It captures the essence of the 2019 election, and what really struck me, out of the 13 M's, RAJDEEP also has been influenced by the acronymization that is very popular these days. So there are 13 M's. One of the M's, which is very important, is the machine that you talk about. The whole election paraphernalia that was put to work in the 2019 election, before that in the 14 election as well. So, and this has never happened. Like the changes he was describing in the world of journalism, this change has been phenomenal in the world of politics. And I'd like you to talk about that a bit.
Today, elections are scientifically run. You want to know in which ward, how many people are BJP voters, let's say in Delhi, how many are AAP, how many are Congress. One of the things I show in the book is quite remarkable how the BJP used the WhatsApp as a weapon. They got the WhatsApp details of all the beneficiaries of government programs. So if you had got a gas cylinder, Not only did they know your name, they knew your voter ID, your board number, and your WhatsApp number. And some of it is used in private sector. There was a company called Jarvis that the BJP actually gave the contract to set up 160 call centers across India. So there was one call center for every 3 Lok Sabha constituencies. They were given all these details 24/7 for 6 months, asked just to contact beneficiaries of government programs. Pulwama may have changed the narrative of the election, but what won them the election is the micromanagement. And people don't realize this. It's the machine at the end of the day. The BJP has, in UP, I think 1,20,000 WhatsApp groups. So any message of Narendra Modi will immediately go 1,20,000 into 250.
But there's also a downside to it because they make the virality of making fake news.
Boss, in Chunav mein, you and I will have a huge problem with fake news. But elections are Sam, Dam, Dandabe. They are not here to do anyone any favor. I'll give you a story which I got about Amit Shah. I wish I had used it in the book. But it's a classic story that tells you what they do to win an election. So the first election that Amit Shah fought was 1983, a college election in Ahmedabad, HL College of Commerce. 18-year-old Amit Shah, or 19-year-old, and he was contesting against a woman candidate. So this was for the college rep. Majority of the people in that class were women. Now, the day before the election, Amit Shah's main guy came and told him, sir, we are losing, all the women are voting for the girl candidate. So we won't be able to win this. So he said, क्यों अभी भी एक रात की बात है, अभी भी कल तो ही है चुनाव, अभी भी try करते हैं. So they got the phone numbers of all the girl students' parents, or their addresses. They sent chits to their house or rang them up. This is pre-mobile India. And he told them, कल आपकी बेटी को कॉलेज मत भेजो, तूफान होगा. Tufan in Gujarati for them is that there will be violence in the college. So about 50 of the 80 girls didn't come to college. Amit Shah won by 25 votes.
How different is your process for writing a book vis-a-vis what you do in the daily news? Because your books are not fiction, they're not novels, they're entirely associated with your journalism. But does it still require a different discipline or a different process?
So I was fascinated with elections. I mentioned 1977. But today you don't have enough books about 1977. How did the mighty Indira Gandhi lose? So I felt that maybe if I write these books 10, 20 years from now, people will want to know what was this Narendra Modi all about? How did he break the monopoly of the Congress? So I wrote a book in 2014, the election that changed India, and I thought it was necessary to write a sequel. And I've tried to write it in a manner that people who may not be obsessed with politics also want to read it. I want to make politics accessible to people. People should try and say, look, oh wow, this is how politics is fought. So, my discipline is, I realized that if I had to write this book, I had to write it within 6 months of the election. So from June to September, I had already taken notes earlier while the campaign was on and even before. But from June to September, every morning, 6 to 9, I just wrote. I mean, some days you write 200 words, some days you write 2,000. But you write.
A lot of people have this impression that you are anti-Modi and anti-BJP. But if you read the book, you realize you're especially harsh on Rahul Gandhi. You don't raise your words on him. So how did that come about? Why are you so harsh on him?
In fact, I sent a copy of the book to an assistant of Rahul Gandhi and he sent it back to me. I said that I really don't want to read it, you're too harsh on us. And my response was, you bloody well won 52 seats out of 543. I have to explain why you lost, right? Similarly, those who say, oh, you're being very, thought you were anti-Modi. Modi won, But I try and explain the darker side of Modi. I'm not here to praise I think that's the key thing. When you write a book, too many of books are written either as cheerleaders or as, just to criticize someone. I think it's important to be objective because I want 20 years from now, as I said, people to understand what happened. Similarly with the Rahul Gandhi, I am a critic to the extent that Rahul Gandhi has never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity. You look at his life over the last 15 years, I mean, he should be, who else? He could have been the leader of the opposition, sat at the front row of parliament, taken the government to task.
I wanted to also know your view on, in what I've experienced, changing definition of a journalist. There's this, if I could quote a personal example, there's this magazine which was wanting to list the top 5 journalists doing things differently. So I was very happy they listed me on it because I was doing various other things with the Hunar platform. It had Bahar for her environmental activism and Sonia for markets. And they told me the cover, the person on the cover is a surprise. So I waited for the magazine to be out, and it took me a while to come to terms with who was on the cover. It was Hunar Charcha on a journalism special issue. And Kunal is brilliant with what he does, with his stand-up comedy, with his satire, political satire. But I also realized that people like Kunal and someone like Dhiraj Singh were not necessarily connected to the primary source of information, are somehow being seen as journalists.
Why should I deny Kunal Kamra the right to be called a journalist?
Political commentators, they're...
Whatever you want to call them, I don't think you can. Look, problem is that journalism was supposed to actually value a color called grey. Today everything is black and white. So in this era of Dhruv and the Kunal Kamras, you see in YouTube there are no rules. You can say what you want about anyone. So to that extent I have a problem with this kind of ecosystem being created. But they have every right to, I mean I enjoy all these comedy guys. I think they are direct. They say things which you and I may not. And I think they hit the nail sometimes much harder than journalists do. So good luck to them. You know, these are new, young, creative talents. I have no problem looking down. I would never look down on them or anybody for that matter who wants to be a journalist.
How do you deal with so much negativity on the social media scene against you? I mean, everyone's out there to say something about what you've done in the past, what you're planning to do. They have an insight to what you're thinking also. I mean, it gets to normal people. How do you deal with it?
By turning to Kishore Kumar. I have a lovely playlist of Kishore Kumar. Every night I listen to a couple of songs and go to sleep. The man is a genius. You know, he was the ultimate metropolitan voice. Whenever, you know, his voice radiates joy. You know, particularly in that period between 69 and 74. Unbelievable songs.
We've always established that Motisha or Mosha are the masters at the present of the game of politics. But in your view, how would you predict, like, how the other parties learning the game, and who do you think is the best primed to sort of take them on in the future, not immediately, but like in the years to come?
You know, I think the opposition is desperately in need of leadership. And until they find one, Mr. Modi will remain, in my view, unquestionably the national leader of this country. So the challenge is on the opposition. The problem is the Congress party.
It's like we've seen it in CAA, like Shaheen Bagh, for example. The anti-corruption movement in which you also have a hand of sort of giving them the idea of becoming a political movement. Don't you see anything coming out of these?
I didn't give them a hand on becoming a political movement. I just innocuously suggested to them, you know, in a strange way. Yeah, February 2011, this Arvind Kejriwal, Kiran Bedi, Prashant Bhushan come to my office. We were doing a program called Citizen Journalist. So they said, we want to do a signature campaign on Lokpal. I had no clue what Lokpal was. I said, boss, these signature campaigns are not great for TV. You please find a TV way of taking forward your movement. So they said, what? As it turned out, the TV set in my room at that moment had that Tahrir Square going on. This movement in Egypt against Hosni Mubarak. I said, look at that. People gathering in outside Parliament, Gherav in Parliament, aisa kuch karo.
So you did have a hand. So you gave them an example.
I had no idea. And you see, as it so happened, within a week of that, the World Cup cricket started. So everybody's attention shifted to the 2011 World Cup. Kejriwal is a clever guy. He didn't do anything during the World Cup. Immediately after the World Cup, he had realized, took this Tahrir Square, brought my friend Anna Hazare from Mumbai and made him into a hero. Now, my own view is, everyone has the right to protest. And the Shaheen Bagh people have just as much right as anyone else. In an ideal world, I believe they should protest at Jantar Mantar. That is the space for protesting. When you do it in the middle of the road, you're setting a precedent which can be used in any part of the country. I was in Calicut the other day. I had to walk the last 2 kilometers because there was a mini Shaheen Bagh going on there in the middle of the road. But I also feel that the government must listen to those voices and meet them. You cannot say, "Hum aapse milenge nahi. Aap hamare paas aaye." Why? What is this ego?
Because you stand out among the whole galaxy of journalists who don't sort of
there are a few
against everyone.
There are a few others also. There are a few others, but really I tell you, no, because for my own health, I keep saying there are only two situations you should watch TV now. One is if you have low blood pressure and you need to increase your blood pressure. The second is if there is somebody in your family at home who's in coma and needs to be revived, TV जोर से चला. We have converted this medium into a medium of entertainment. Sadly, most people who are watching TV are either my mother or my mother's age. So most of the people now respond, yeah, my son's generation is not watching TV.
No, but there are a lot of young students here who are fans of yours.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of younger people are not watching TV anymore as their primary source of information. The mobile is the primary source of information. TV on a big news day, chunav hai, people will watch. Otherwise, I go home and watch sport. I am not going to go home and get my blood pressure up by watching TV.
This thing on the TV shows, not on yours, I mean fortunately as much, not on any TV, but on the Republic and the Times Now, there is this horrendous, like 6 people in the segments dying to be heard, like the puppies wanting to breastfeed on their mother, and they're like really clamoring. Is there a way to end that? Because when I want to speak, somebody else has to speak and goes on. So I shouted that. I said, why don't you allow me to speak? So could we have an arrangement where other people are muted, so everybody can say what he wants, and then it's no hurry, because I'm not here to argue with them. I'm here to speak to the public. So occasionally I've had to lose my cool and be very rude with them.
I call it the Raman School of Journalism. Why the Raman School? Because eventually you will have 100 people on the TV screen. That day is not far when 100 heads will pop in. Look, it's not journalism to have even 6 people shouting at each other. But the problem is in India, if today outside Max Towers there's a cockfight, everyone will go outside.
Okay.
If there is a quiet, then nobody will watch. So it's the oldest three. Thoda drama karo, thoda nautakki karo, log dekhenge. It is so obvious. And yet we fall for it every time. I mean, let's be fair, the channels that you mention also have good viewership. Because people want a little bit of drama, you come home every night. But I think there is a large number which is also getting tired of it.
Yeah.
It's like a formula.
Exactly.
You see, har formula ka apna ek limit hota hai. It's like a Bollywood film.
Exactly.
People want better cinema today.
I'm able to see the power they have in, predicting how you're going to behave and influencing it. Everyone says it's for the good, so I know technology is a very powerful weapon now, scarily powerful. You talked about how the election machinery is, and I remember Sabha Nakwi telling me once, follow the money. Where is there hope for the underdog if money and technology is, you're just seeing the division becoming greater, the 1%.
Yeah, sure. We are a democracy in recession. We have elections. We have lots and lots of elections. But are we genuinely a democracy that ensures a level playing field at election time? And technology is a double-edged sword. In a strange way, technology can also help you versus, it can also create a David versus Goliath. So I think technology can be an enabler also. It can be a disruptor, it can be an enabler. It can also, obviously those who have greater monies can use technology to scale up much faster. You see, it just is that money has become such a major factor in winning it. Look at Kejriwal. Today he has many more crorpatis in his list of MLAs than even the BJP does in their contender, because he realized that unko khud ka paise se ladna hai. I don't have the money to support them. So I think more than technology, just unless we can find a way to say, look, every candidate will be monitored and only so much can be spent. It's difficult to do that, but it's the only way out.
We have a young member for the last question, please go ahead.
Hi.
How can one become a sports journalist? Because it seems like a cool thing to do, because you can travel and watch live sports.
It's a good question. Today you have the opportunity of being on TV. Everything is live sport, a lot of live sport. You can do digital, you could do your own cricket website, you could do your own sports website, you could be a sports blogger. I think sports is great. I believe the future of the world is how do we find good news. But we'll start there, and then maybe, hopefully there'll be a competition that Star Sports will have next year for the best sportscaster under the age. How old are you?
12.
So under the age of 12 or under the age of 14 and you'll win it. Which country can you go where the food changes from one region to another? And therefore I feel to try and do elections through food is a way of celebrating India. So I love it.
So it should be food in my plate.
Yeah, maybe I should do a regular food show. Maybe. But I'm not a cook, so I have no clue of food. I only enjoy food. I don't even eat actually most of it. I only do it for the camera.